guys, how are you? Well, Reality Check is back. And okay, well, Reality Check never left. I just have to leave, so I'm back. So I'm back here. Um, we're going to talk about loneliness. So I don't get a flood of emails about all the different things that we talked about. And it's, like I said before in the very beginning of this, I start on something and sometimes I go on a tangent about other things. And most of the stuff that I talk about are pretty passionate. So I guess that's why I get a little all over the place about certain things. But loneliness, and I notice that I'm finding more and more people, um, and it doesn't matter whether they're girls or guys, it's right down the middle, that we feel lonely. I notice that guys may feel lonely and don't want to admit it. Girls are pretty much open with their feelings, so they pretty much get to the point about they're feeling lonely and for what reason. And I have to ask you, like, it's amazing that some of you think that a boyfriend or girlfriend or friends are going to take away that loneliness. And it's, you got to think for a moment. It's kind of like you need a winter coat because it's cold outside. And you buy the winter coat, and okay, great, I'm going to be warm. And you go outside and you realize, okay, I don't have enough on. So I got to go back in and put another sweater on underneath the winter coat. Or I got to put a thicker coat on. So that particular coat does not necessarily make you warm, if I'm making sense, if I'm giving that scenario. Um, which means that your boyfriend or a girlfriend or friends are not going to take away that loneliness permanently. It's going to be pretty much like a band-aid on the situation. Um, because I look at it as when you have a problem, and I always give scenarios and just let you know. But when you have a problem or you have problems and you're like, oh my God, I need to take a vacation. I need to get away. All right, okay, well, take your vacation. If you think it's going to soothe your mind and get your thoughts together and you leave for vacation or you run away from home and you come back, guess what? You come back to those same problems. So loneliness doesn't escape us. It's always going to be there. But we have to ask ourselves, what's going to make us happy? What's going to make us less lonely? For me, my personal opinion is that thoughts make you lonely. And it's not people that's going to take away that. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends. Maybe I have enough friends, and maybe if I make some friends, then I won't be that lonely. But then, for some of us, I realize that when you get into a friendship or relationship of some sort, then your mind runs amok. Am I saying the right things? Do I have the right thing on? Am I going to go? Do I have enough money to go out with them? Should I drink? Should I not drink? I know how I drink when I get stupid, when I drink a little bit too much more, so I shouldn't do this. So now all these other worries are going through your head to make sure that your friends like you. Um, and if you have to go through that many hoops, jumping through that many hoops, then maybe they're not your friends to begin with because you can't be authentic. And you know about me, I try to be as authentic as possible and truthful with my thoughts and my feelings and my words towards people and friends and family members. Some of us, we like to be lonely. Some of us like to go out to the movies by ourselves. Some of us actually can stand being in the room with ourselves for more than a minute and not having a mate or friends around. And like I said before, you have to pretty much take an inventory on who you are. And why is it so important for you to have friends around? Because if you don't have friends around, then you're not normal. You're not like everyone else. If you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, then what's wrong with you. We get caught up in what society says we should and should not do, and should or should not have. And if we can't meet up to what society says, then we're considered to be the oddball, the odd person, and you're not at all. You need to figure out what's going to make you happy so you're not lonely. First of all, learn to be with yourself. Learn to enjoy your company. Because if you can't enjoy your company, how is anybody else going to? If you don't know who you are, how are you going to allow anyone else to get to know who you are? these little things about loneliness is quite important because you get a chance to discover who you are as a person, what you like, what you don't like. It's even more important to figure out what you don't like. Because we always talk about, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this in a person or friends or a mate. But you need to figure out even more so what you don't like. And if you even get into a relationship with someone, is that going to really take away the loneliness? Probably won't, because there are going to be certain points in your day that you're not with the person, that you're at work, you're taking a shower, you are sleeping, you are out with friends, you're out at a ball game, you're reading a book, you're playing music, whatever. There's going to be certain moments in your life that you're not going to be with that significant other and or your friends. And hopefully those times that you're not with those people, you can enjoy being with yourself. And it's not being lonely just because you're by yourself. It means you're learning to get to know who you are. And once you muster up enough knowledge about who you are, then you can pretty much go out and be your authentic self with your friends and with your mate. I think too many of us seek out so quickly to be with somebody, all for the wrong reasons. I've got family members that are in relationships right now that they know I don't approve. And they come to me about problems, what they're going through. But we all go through problems. But I feel like there's certain problems that you're going to work with, and certain problems you should move on. It's kind of like pick your battles. You know this is not going to work. Why are you staying in this? And we stay in certain things because we don't want to be lonely. Whether it's because you're being verbally abused, or you're mentally abused, or you're physically abused, and you try to figure out, or your friends or people around you try to figure out, why do you stay in this relationship? You know, your friends call you this, that, and the other. Your mate degrades you in front of people. Why do you stay? Because you're so afraid of being lonely. But if you took the time out to get to know who you are prior to these relationships and realize, I don't need these people, I want these people. I want these people around. I don't need them around. I want them around. So when you want something, that means you're giving an option. When you need something, there's no options. There's no options. I want someone to want to be with me, not need to be with me. I feel more important. I feel that that they're worthy of my love when they want to be with me. That means they made an option. They made a conscious decision to say, I want to be your friend. I want to be around you. I want to be your boyfriend. I want to be your girlfriend. Rather than a need, it's almost like they don't have an option, so they have to stay there. Whether you are living with someone and you can't get out, you don't have a place to stay, you need to be with them. Maybe you may not want to, but you need to now because you have no place to go. Is that what you want in a relationship? So, saying that in reverse, why, when you get with someone, whether it be friends or an individual or partner, you want to be with that person. And these are my opinions. It doesn't have to be everyone's opinion. But you want to be with that person. Because in the event that you feel like they don't treat you well, they don't treat you right, or this just doesn't mesh. It just doesn't mesh. It means nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong with them. It just doesn't fit. It's kind of like remember those blocks we used to play with when we were a kid? Okay, maybe some of us, maybe I'm older. You know, the square block goes into the square hole, the circle goes into the circle hole, and triangle and rectangle and so on and so forth. But if you have a circle, it's not going to fit in that rectangle. So it's just not the right fit. It's okay. Because you need to figure out who you are. So when you get with someone, you'll find that right fit. And when you find that right fit, it's right for you. Be authentic with yourself. It's really hard. You think it's harder to be authentic with other people, but it's really hard to be authentic to yourself, to really sit down and say, this is who I really am. And this is what I really want. And this is what I don't want. And when you go out and searching, or you find someone, or someone finds you, or you meet someone, and that mesh doesn't work, don't force it. Don't force that circle into the triangle. It's not working. It's okay. It's okay. You're not going to be lonely for the rest of your life. But you've learned to cope and deal and accept you for who you are. So you'll never actually be lonely. And it's not an easy task. Don't get me wrong. It's not an easy task. It's not going to happen overnight. But at least you know who you are from today, better today, then you're going to know better tomorrow. And as time progresses, you'll get to know yourself even more so. And like I said before, you'll get to know yourself enough to say what I do want and what I don't want in whatever type of relationships. And when you get to know yourself and the core person who you really are, that loneliness is not there as much. It'll simmer down, it'll die down, because you've learned to accept who you are. And you won't push so hard to be this fake person for these other people around you. You won't force yourself to fit in their squares, in their rectangles, in their triangles when you're a circle. Don't force it. Let them accept you for who you are. And as far as the loneliness will subside because you realize you're a lot more important than just random friends being around just to be around. Sit with yourself for a little while. Get to know who you are. Because when it's time to have someone love you, they'll love you for the right reasons. And you allow them to love you for the right reasons and not allow them to love you for the reasons they want you to be. That's just my opinion. So, that's Reality Check. Once again, I'm Kev. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm history. And keep in mind, like I always say, cherish the person in the mirror. It's the only one you got. Look for me next Monday. You take care, guys.